What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, it's your host, Trey. And today, we're going to talk about this Sunday afternoon NFL matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so this game is set to be kicked off at 1 p.m. East Coast time on September 22nd. All right, the line is New Orleans minus 2.5. Over-under is at 45.5. But it has since moved up to 49.5, guys. All right, so there has been a lot of line movement as far as how many points will be scored in this game. A lot of sharps coming in on the over, guys. All right, so let's take a look at this matchup that will be kicked off in Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. All right, so the Philadelphia Eagles coming to this one, looking to kind of bounce back after that first loss of the year, falling to 1-1 with a 22-21 loss to the Falcons last time out on Monday night. After this game, the Eagles will stay on the road and try to head out to Tampa. So this is a kind of a smash spot for them where they're coming up against two teams that are possible NFC juggernauts, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. All right, so Jalen Hurts has thrown for 461 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions on 67.2% passing, while also rushing for 118 yards. Saquon Barkley has 204 rushing yards, with 2 touchdowns, while Devontae Smith has a team-high 14 receptions for 160 yards, and A.J. Brown has 119 receiving yards, but is currently dealing with an injury. On defense, Zach Bond has a team-high 24 total tackles, including 18 solo tackles and a pair of sacks, while Reed Blankenship has 18 tackles with 13 solo tackles and an interception. All right, when this team came out on the field the last time they played, man, it was a tight game. They honestly could have won the game had Saquon caught that screen pass, which probably would have been another touchdown for Saquon. But that's been an issue for Saquon this season because Saquon, as an example, in that game, he had 5 targets and he caught 4. Previous game, he kind of had the same thing. He dropped 1 or 2 passes somewhere in the game. Now, Jalen Hurts, like I said, he went 23 of 30 for 183 yards against this Falcon defense, guys. Saquon rushed the ball 22 times for 92 yards. Like, they produced. Jalen had 13 carries for 85 yards out there, man. Devontae Smith, 7 receptions for 76 yards, 10.9 per catch average. He had 10 total targets. All right, Dallas Goedert had 3 for 38 out there. Like, it's not like the team, Jahan Dotson finally showed up. 1 catch for 6 yards. But the thing is, they allowed Atlanta to matriculate the ball in that last couple minutes like it was nothing. Like they were cutting through butter, bro. Like, so Kirk Cousins went 20 for 29 total for 241 yards against them. He only got sacked 1 time because they weren't blitzing. They're not getting any pressure with that front 4 for them young players that they didn't drafted out of Georgia. I don't know what's going on with that. Kirk Cousins had a QBR of 75.6. Passer rating of 117.2. Bijan rushed the ball 14 times for 97 yards, which could mean trouble for this team because they are playing the Saints. You know, they're playing the hottest back in the league right now, Alvin Kamara. And then Darnell Mooney had 3 receptions for 88. Drake London had 6 receptions for 54. Both of them had a touchdown. Like, there's Kyle Pitts, 3 for 20. Like, you're going against Taysom Hill out there too. Like, there's a lot that this team needs to worry about when they're coming into this game. When they're playing, when the Eagles are stepping out here, they got to understand how they're going to navigate this, man. Like, it's definitely something that this is a game I would be worried about if I was an Eagle fan. All right, now, when you talk about New Orleans Saints, they're coming in this one looking to build on their 2-0 start to the year after a 44-19 win over the Cowboys last time out. After this game, they're going to go on the road. They got another division game versus the Falcons, the team that the Eagles just got done playing. Now, Derek Carr has thrown for 443 yards, 5 touchdowns, and an interception on 76.9% passing, while Alvin Kamara has rushed for 198 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground. Rashid Shaheed has a team-high 7 receptions for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns, lead New Orleans right now in the receiving corps so far this season. On defense, Alante Taylor leads the Saints with 15 total tackles, including 13 solos and 3 sacks, while Carl Granderson has 1.5 sacks. As a unit, New Orleans defense has combined for 7 sacks and 4 interceptions so far this season, man. And when you talk about how they've been playing, man, like they've been coming out there and putting it to people. They scored 44 points to Dallas's 19 points in that last game, man. Derek Carr went 11 for 16 for 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, QBR 99.4 with a passer rating of 125. They put Dak in the dirt, okay? Dak went 27 of 39 for 293, had 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He got sacked 3 times for 14 yards. His QBR was 54.2 and his passer rating was a putrid 78.3, guys. Like, when you got Alvin Kamara going out there for 20 carries, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then catching a touchdown too. All right, then Chris Olave, 4 receptions for 81 yards on top of Rashid Shaheed, what he did out there, man. And Taysom Hill tagging in for 3 carries on 18. All right, then on the defense, you got sacks from Granderson, from Chase Young. He's putting pressure out there. Brian Breesy out of Clemson. He's coming out there and putting pressure on people, man. There's a lot going on out there when you're talking about that defense, man. That Saint defense is biting, okay? So when you're talking about how the Saints have been playing and trying to keep up with them, man, it could be an issue. Like, all right, so but let's look at these injuries real quick. So C.J. Gardner-Johnson is questionable, all right, with the foot injury he's been battling. Of course, we already know Johnny Wilson's still questionable, nursing that hamstring injury, and Devin White, he's of course questionable, all right, dealing with an ankle injury. He just want to get paid, all right. A.J. Brown, he out with the hamstring. Okay, Bradbury's out still with the lower leg tendon injury, and he ain't expected to come back till October. We already knew Sidney Brown, the draft pick, he was going to be out with that torn ACL. And then when you look over here to New Orleans got some things going on too now. So they got Landon Young, he's questionable, all right, dealing with that foot injury. Cedric Wilson Jr., he's battling an abdominal injury. You know, Tyrann Mathieu, he's questionable, dealing with a heel injury. Unknown if he'll be out there, but I'm pretty sure he'll be out there. Kendre Miller's dealing with a hamstring that he's been managing. It remains to be seen if he'll be out there. Fuaga is questionable with the back, but I'm pretty sure he'll be out there. A.T. Perry, you know, he's questionable. Foster Moreau, he's questionable with the head and tight end spot. You know, they of course, Marshawn Lattimore's questionable, dealing with the hamstring injury. Unknown if he'll suit up, but I expect to see him out there on the field, guys. And when you talk about this matchup, so right now throughout the season, Philly's averaging 27.5 points per game. That is 5th in the NFL as far as offense is concerned, but they're playing the number 4 defense in the NFL in the New Orleans Saints, man. Saints are only giving up 14.5 points per game. That's number 4 in the NFL. Then you look third down, Philly's only converting 37% of their third downs. That's 16th in the NFL, middle of the pack. And the Saints, they're only allowing you to convert 30% of third downs. That's 10th in the NFL. So, like, this is going to be a real problem for Philadelphia Eagles when they get out here. Now, in the red zone, Philadelphia is only scoring 45.45% of the time. They're only scoring a touchdown when they meet the red zone. And New Orleans is number 2 defense in the red zone right now. They only allow you to score 20% of the time that you actually make it there. They only allow you to score a touchdown 20% of the time, guys. All right. So then we look over on the other end. Okay. And this New Orleans Saints offense, man. Okay, so they're averaging 45.5 points per game. That's the number 1 offense in the NFL, man. Philadelphia is giving up 25.5 points per game. That's the 27th worst defense in the NFL. Big problems for Philly out there right now. Then you look third down conversions. New Orleans is converting number 2 offense in the NFL, 57.14% of the time. Whereas Philly is the number 3 defense against third down on opposing offenses. They're only allowing them to convert 25% of the time. So that is the crux of the situation where Philly has an opportunity. They just got to make sure they continue to stand up in the paint on that third down. All right. Now, when you look in the red zone, if New Orleans make it to the red zone, 88.89% of the time, they're going to get a box check. They're going to get a touchdown, man. That's number 2 offense in the NFL in the red zone. And then when you look at Philly only allows teams to score a touchdown 28.57% of the time. So that's number 5 defense against opposing offenses in the red zone in the NFL, guys. Definitely metrics and numbers that you need to pay attention to if you're trying to understand how to bet this matchup or even how to look at this matchup, man, as a fan or anything like that. Now, situationally, Philly's 1-1. Okay, they lost at home already, and they won, of course, on that neutral site down there in Brazil. All right, but New Orleans is 2-0. It don't matter where they play, they win so far. All right, and then against the spread, New Orleans is 2-0 because they blow people out. All right, and Philly is 1-1 against the spread. All right, having lost last week. And then when you look against over-unders, Philly's 1 to the over and 1 to the under. All right, and they, of course, when they're away from home is when that over occurs, and they're going to be in New Orleans. And New Orleans is putting up points, like especially against a defense like this. This defense is just, I haven't seen a defense this bad in a while, and I understand this defense was pretty bad last year, but at the end of the day, man, come on now. Like, it's a problem. Like I said, when New Orleans is scoring 47 points and only giving up 10 points a game, and Philly's scoring 34 but giving up 29 as an away team, you're looking at some points being given up by Philly, man. Like, there's no way around that. There's going to be points given up by Philly. They're going to struggle in this game. They've struggled thus far to put pressure on quarterbacks, and I anticipate that they will continue to struggle. So when we look in the last 10 times this team's been out here, Philly's been out here the last 10 times. They're 3-7 in the last 10 games, man. They have been spiraling. Okay, going back to last season, they're 1-8-1 against the spread in their last 10 games, and it's 5 to the over, 5 to the under in their last 10 games, guys. They haven't won or covered but one game in 10 games, guys. Like, I can't stress that to you any more than what I just got done saying. That is a huge problem if you're talking about playing a team like the New Orleans Saints. Like, this is the wrong time to be playing them. Saints are 6-4 in their last 10, 6-4 against the spread, and 6 to the over, 4 to the under in their last 10 times out there. They've literally played 3 overs in a row going back to last season of January 7th of 2024, and they're averaging like 45 points a game in those last 3 games too, going back to last season. So this offense has figured out a way to actually matriculate the ball down the field. I understand it was a different quarterback last year, but the players are becoming more confident. When you're talking about a Bijan Robinson, a Kyle Pitts, a Drake London, they're stepping into their own, and they're understanding who they are as players and that they can actually accomplish certain things at this level. Does that mean that they're going to be able to do it at this level? I mean, I'm sorry. Wrong people, man. I mentioned Drake London. I mentioned Bijan Robinson. I'm talking about Alvin Kamara, man. I'm talking about Chris Olave, man. I'm talking about Rashid Shaheed, man. You know what I mean? Like, those are the people that are on this team that have shown up and shown out somehow, some way over these last 3 games. Derek Carr understanding what to do. The head coach understanding how to allow people to operate in the offense, being that he's a defensive head coach. Like, those are the types of things that are really changing how this team is operating this season. Now, head to head, Saints are 6-4 straight up. It's been 5-5 against the spread. It's been 4 to the over, 5 to the under with 1 push. The last time they played was back in 2023, January 1st. They played in Philly, and Philly lost that game 20-10. New Orleans covered the 6.5 that they were getting, and that game went under the 43.5. Now, Saints defense has only got better since then, and Philly's defense has only gotten worse since then, guys. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you. They also played back in 2021. The score was 40-29. Philly won that game. They covered the 3 points that they were giving up in that game, guys. All right, so just to give you why Philly has a chance to win this game, okay? The underdogs have won each of the Saints' last 8 Week 3 games. The Saints have lost each of their last 4 Week 3 games as favorites against NFC opponents. The underdogs have covered the spread in each of the Saints' last 9 Week 3 games, and the Saints have failed to cover the spread in 8 of their last 9 September games as favorites. Now let's look over here on the other side. Okay, now why the Saints have a chance is because the Eagles have lost each of their last 9 games as underdogs when playing with a rest disadvantage. The Saints have won each of their last 6 Sunday games, and the Saints have covered the spread in each of their last 6 Sunday games. The Eagles have failed to cover the spread in 10 of their last 11 games as away underdogs when playing with a rest disadvantage. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm on the Saints here, guys. All right, especially with that low number. Right, 2.5, gotta take it. All right, I'm all day in America. All right, I've already bought into the Saints. I'm gonna play some more tickets with the Saints on this one. They're coming out the gate hot. There's no denying the results up to this point, and the Eagles' defense just sucks. It just sucks. I'm just going to call it like it is. The defense sucks right now. Okay, so until they start playing like the Eagles of old and start banging heads out there and getting some pressure with that front four, then it's going to be a problem. Like, they need to resurrect Reggie White or something like that. New Orleans Saints might finally live up to some expectations here, guys. And it'll be interesting to see if the Saints are flash in the pan or if they're actually something to deal with out here, guys. But like I said, I'll be on the Saints side here. I'll be taking that 2.5. I'll probably take the money line on something else as well. Might look at the first half. First half Saints total points. Okay, I could see that possibly cashing, especially since it's only at 12.5 points. Oh my God. Yeah, Saints over in the first half, over 12.5 points. I love it. Taking that all day in America. Okay, I like the Saints total game over, most likely over the 24.5. Yeah, I'm liking that too. That's gonna happen in that dome, and and then when you look, yeah, that's all locks, guys. Take them. Just take them. Just go get paid, guys. All right. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. Please like, share, subscribe. I hope this information helps you. And yeah, I'm gonna see you at the window, guys. Peace.